Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host with the most abridged nation here today to give you the latest Chelsea transfer talk, discuss a couple of things. The Chelsea Club World Cup squad, we're going to discuss it, see who's on it, who's not on it, some of our thoughts and feelings in regards to it as well. We're discussing some Petrovic news that's come out today in regards to his future at the football club and where things are heading with him. And this Hato, of course, another option to be discussed about as well. And there's also been some comments that have come out from what's his name? Jacobs Ben as well. So listen, let's make sure as you comment to like, share, subscribe. Rejuvenation FC, fully healed FC, 100% FC. I love it, man. I love it. It's good to be back. I actually need to. What's the time? I had it at 9:40, so 2 hours, 11:40. I need to do my job. All right, that's good. Good time. Big up to everyone that's here. Let me put on my earphones because Bridge Nation loves supporting his earphones. But listen, guys, man. In life, man, being a scammer, it pays off, man. I've told you this before. In the 21st century, man, in the era that we live in, scamming is, it's like the new form of robbery, bro. Because KDH, man, I just seen that right now, man. KDH has scammed the Club World Cup spot. You know what I mean? I saw KDH scam the Club World Cup spot, by the way. And I thought that was funny. So I thought I'd just put it out there. But let me bring up the Club World Cup spot. Let me just bring up the Chelsea Twitter out real quick. It was on there. But big up to Scott. How are you feeling, Scott?
Feel great, mate. Feel fantastic.
That's good, man. That's good to hear, man. I'm feeling better than ever. You know what I mean? Maybe this is what happens, man, when you just remove emotions. You know what I mean? Helps a lot. Yeah, but listen, where is this Club World Cup spot? I literally just had it prepped myself. There we go. All right, let me just load up for everyone to see and have a last little bit of a laugh at. You know what I mean? But we move, and let me just increase the sizing as well, just so it's a bit more easier for everyone to read. And I'm gonna just make ourselves a little bit bigger too. There we land. So this is the Chelsea Club World Cup squad that has been announced. You got Sanchez, Jorgensen, Pendes, and Gaga Solina. Defenders, you've got 10 defenders. Mark Cucurella, Tosin Adebayo, Benoit, Badiashile, Levi Colwell, I forgot his name, Sarr, Trevor Chalobah, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Aaron Ansomino. I don't know how he scammed the spot, but big up to him. And Chempong. 6 midfielders are joining the team. Fernandez, Caicedo, Suego, Santos, Dewsbury Hall, and Lavia. And 8 forwards, Liam Delap, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Nicholas Jackson, Christophe Nkunku, Tariq George, and Mark Gui as well. So that is a squad for you. And guys, if you can just do quick maths quickly, which I just did right now, that's 28 in total. So just for a quick mathematic rundown, 4 plus 10 is 14, 14 plus 6 is 20, 20 plus 8 is 28. So that's a 28 out of a possible 35 that have been chosen to join the team. So that's what's going on right now. Obvious things just to point out before I get the panel to speak about it is that no Ish Samuels, who's one of the highly rated fullbacks, particularly in the left back area of the football club. So that means we do not have a backup right now to Kukurea, just in the Club World Cup. Just one thing to point out there, of course. Other thing to point out as well, we only have 3 wingers right now currently. Obviously, Tariq George, Noni Madueke, and Pedro Neto. 2 of those guys have just played 2 games of international. They have not even come back yet to the club. They haven't had any rest yet at all. Keep that in mind. And that is pretty much it. Other than Dewsbury Hall seems to still be here, which has confused me because the club have left. Basically, the vast majority of the players, they want to leave out of the squad already. So I'm not sure how he scammed the place in the team. Obviously, Christopher Nkunku has also scammed the place, but I think the only reason I can think of Christopher Nkunku scamming the spot is that you need to maintain his value, isn't as they say in the streets these days. You know what I mean? Maintain his value, if you know what I mean, boys. But listen, that's the things to take note on, to keep an eye on, and to obviously speak about, of course. But how is the other two? How are my fellow co-hosts feeling about this Club World Cup squad, by the way? And before I even say that, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'm almost at 2.9k. So listen, I need 15 of you guys out of a possible 50 to subscribe, and let's get to 50 likes, please. 50 likes as well helps me on the channel out as well. And make sure to subscribe to RSM TV. He should be in the channel title in 1 minute. Whilst they're talking, I'm gonna add this in.
I just don't care. I did care before it came out. Then it came out and I don't care. Right.
We're finished, bro. So
Whoa,
there's no surprise. It's just like
this is very somber, man. What's going on?
Bro, what
do
do you
the
realistic
of them thinking we're stupid, bro? Like, why Slonina there? I like Slonina. What happened to this? Oh, we can't bring guys back that have been out on loan. It's a continuation. Like, do you think we're stupid?
Wow.
My man's just come back from an injury, by the way.
I know.
Bro,
Back to the coal mine's actually crazy X style, by the way. That's a crazy comment.
Bro, I don't even know what to say. Like, the fact that, bro, like, this is just a total clown show, bro. What do you want me to say, bro?
Wow.
No left back again because they don't like Vega for some reason because he wanted to play centre back and they said fuck you.
Hold up, Scott. But you do realize though.
Time out or something. So I'm late to speak. Yeah, if you want to hop on, you'll feel free to do so.
I can't be bothered, bro. I can't be dealing with dummies tonight, bro. I can't be bothered.
We're not doing that. What I will say though is, like, bro, realistically though, Viega's a shameless brother, bro.
Oh, let's be real.
Viega, bro, he pushed his way out the squad, and he's gonna be upsetty that we don't bring him back in. Yeah, bro, you're getting moved on.
RSM, we're gonna get to him. No, you're moving too fast, man.
You know what that says? By the way,
Ahmed, you mentioned on that one thing.
Ahmed, you mentioned Samuel Smith. I guarantee you, brother, they don't know who that guy is.
Oh my god. I know the only reason why I know because, like, I know someone that, like, bro, watches the academy really well.
You talking about ISS, the kid?
Yeah. Smith,
bro, they gave him a 6-year contract to do nothing with him.
Oh yeah, like, Lucas, you've been up on. Let me know.
My man, did he make a single squad last season? Did he do anything?
I mean, I don't know. Nah, I don't know if this is the place in the stream I want to talk about it, but, like, I've seen a lot of people. I think people forget. Because, I mean, I think I've confirmed this is true. I think Chelsea fans tend to have goldfish memories. Like, they forget stuff that happened in the past couple months. And I distinctly remember being told in January that we hadn't
just
made any
big up the-
signings.
Un minuto, sorry again. Listen, big up to my boy Hussam. I was on his channel just discussing all things about transfers. Big up to my boy Hussam. If you're coming from Hussam channel, you already know who I am anyway. I'm the Bridge Nation. I'm the guy that always subs in for Ziad on Al-Hawa. You know who I am. Make sure as you're coming in to like, share, subscribe. It helps me enough to the end of the day. Big up to you boys that are joining as well. Much appreciated as always. RSM, I know I've been, buttoning every time you speak. Please talk about it.
No, people have like goldfish memories and they forget. What were we told in January when we made no signings? We were told that they had made, quote, important groundwork for summer signings and that we would we would make the majority of our signings before the Club World Cup. Is that not what we were told?
No,
We were also told by our own fans that no one's spending money. We got told no one's spending money. No one has money. That's what we got told. No one has money. No one's spending money. No one's buying.
No. The thing about, I just want to add context. They did say till the end of June. So I've said this before. You got 19 days. That's basically 3 weeks and change essentially that you've got, right? So no, 2 weeks and change. Sorry, that you've got 2 weeks and change.
So the important groundwork we laid is getting rejected immediately, viciously, expeditiously by Dortmund on 3 of our bids. Like immediately just didn't even get through the door. You feel me? Picked up the phone call, hung up on us, right? And that was the important groundwork for the reason why we didn't get in the striker.
Mm-hmm.
Like people forget this. People act like, oh no, you don't get. Like this is what I'm saying. Like what are these sporting directors genuinely doing? By the way, read to me what that says, bro.
Sorry. Yeah, please read that, Ahmed.
Does that say the end of the month? Does that say end of the month?
Chelsea
Scott, I believe that does not say end of the month to me.
Chelsea are expected to be busy in the period of June the 1st. You have CFC want their winger and striker signing ready for the Club World Cup.
Read that again.
Whoa. Chelsea is expected to be busy in the period of June the 1st and June the 10th. CFC want their winger and striker signing ready for the
Ahmed,
Club
do me a
World Cup.
favor. Just read that last sentence again for me, please. One more time. With
All
feeling,
right.
with chest.
CFC want their winger and striker signing ready for the Club World Cup. That's what they
Winger
You
say.
see how the and is
And he ended
capitalized?
with none. Want
No,
winger
we got the
and
no. To be
striker.
fair, we
got
got the
the
striker because it was a release clause, so that's cool, man.
But I was too focused on the Ekatike thing. I keep forgetting about the lap.
Yeah, no, the lap. I mean, the lap was the striker. That's what they're gonna say. So fair enough. But it was a release clause, whatever. Bro, genuinely, I see you not ruin my day, man. You made me read Conor Gallagher on the screen.
So,
Oh, man,
this is the
bro.
other thing. This is the other thing. Listen, the reason why I always rate Simon Johnson because Simon Johnson of the Athletic, I always find him to be very reliable when it comes to Chelsea news. They're like T0. I always say this before. He is T0. It's just that he picks and chooses when he speaks because he's got David Ornstein as well as also his co-worker essentially, right? Chelsea sources have revealed the club intend to do the majority of the signs in and outs at the end of June, including a striker and right-footed winger. Chelsea have been working.
That's a joke.
These deals for months. So this is not. Listen, I know it's only June 11th right now, but like apparently we even got the outgoings ready according to this apparently. So this is what I'm saying. So listen, the reason why I only bring that up is because again, there's certain guys that I do listen to or like that I do read about, and I'm like, their reporting is very reliable. They usually get their sources as well from the club themselves, innit?
But that's not saying. But Ahmed, right? So like, my genuine question is, what has this first opening of the window shown us to make us believe that in January they laid any type of important groundwork for summer targets?
Guess we'll have to find out then.
Bro, they're stealing a living off the club. What do they do, bro?
I guess we got to find out what happens next week. That's the only thing I can really say. That's the problem for me, and I'm gonna put it like this year. I think it's fair to say, and I know that you two would agree with me here, that the first 10 days, well, including today, to be honest, have been a shit show. Essentially, it's been a shit show. There's no tweet about it. Yes, you got Delap, which is a positive because he's a good player. I know lots of people may not agree with that, but like in terms of like negotiating for Magnon has been a disaster. The negotiations for Gittis has been basically essentially a disaster, right? So you basically started on the back foot. Right now we're on the back foot. Obviously, the market does open again next week. Friday, isn't it? Is it next week Friday? No,
16th.
11 plus Thursday. So it opens again next week Thursday, basically, right? So it's going to be a week. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. So something like that. So listen, Wednesday
Oh,
actually. So
it's 16th it opens.
what day is that? Let's Google when you need them. It's Monday. So it's going to open on Monday, actually. What? So damn. So listen, the window's reopening again on Monday, right? So again, you still got yourself 2 to 3 weeks essentially, right, after that date to see what's gonna go on, if that makes sense, right? So we need to see what happens there, in my personal opinion, and then we can make decisions. That's why for me personally, I know I'm not being a slight minority here. I agree with people crashing out because I also have crashed out myself, but I'm gonna wait until the end of June. Because end of June, you can bring in signings at least to the Club World Cup. You can add guys into it. I want to see then what's going to be taking place. Right? But when we get to the end of June, because that's the timeline they've given themselves, yeah, and we see what the income is in, I'm less worried about the outgoings, in my personal opinion. Then I think my decision is going to be final, in my personal opinion.
That's cool. Like, and at the end, like, you are right to a point. My thing is I made this point before, and I'll make it again. Even if we get guys after the Club World Cup, you're hamstringing Maresca in this team because these are players that should have been in this squad and should have been, even if they don't play, by the way. Like, Manyan, Gittins, Ekatike, they could play no minutes in the Club World Cup. But them being in and around the squad is going to help them, which means they've got to do less groundwork for the rest of the preseason. Like, let me have a little look. When's our quarterfinal game? Let's say we get to the quarterfinal.
It's July the 5th, isn't it? July the 5th.
July 5th, cool. So then they come back. How long do you think they're getting off? Let's say they get 2 weeks off. They've got a month preseason before the first game. So you've got to have this deal ready to be done. So by the time these guys come back for actual preseason, if they're getting a couple weeks off, which they fucking deserve it, some of them, like Kukurea deserves like a month off at this point. You're going to run him into the ground. To get the 2 weeks off after we come back from the Club World Cup, if we get where we think we're going to get now, if we get grouped, fantastic in a way, because at least we get an actual preseason, or we get preseason for the rest of it. But these guys are going to have a month to come in, bed in, learn the system, and learn the group, so they have to be ready immediately for the first game. Like, you're just hamstringing this club and this manager for no reason. Like, in the long run, we'll probably be fine. But those first 2-3 weeks of football is probably going to end up being shit. It's probably going to look a bit shit because instead of
I'll say the attack. I think the defense, we're probably going to see a ton of draws.
Yeah, defense might be fine just because we're not really doing any additions. Like, it might
in the midfield.
Be,
I think the midfield and defense are going to be solid, but the attack is going to be shambles.
I just want
to look like straight cheeks, bro.
I just want to make this point quickly. JK, I'm not believing a local cracker. I know what this club is like, but I'm gonna hold them to their word of mouth. There's a difference between holding someone to their word of mouth, yeah, and believing what they say. Listen, they said at the end of June, all of these incomes are gonna be sorted out. So I'm waiting until the end of June to see what happens.
And outgoings, bro. So we'll see.
Listen, the outgoings, you can hold them to. I'm looking at incomes because I don't care about the outgoings, because the outgoings, they will get done whether I like it or not. It doesn't even have to be in
themselves. I can't.
Yes. Yeah, so for me, I'm looking at incomes, right? Because that's what we need right now. We need bodies in the team. I've only got flipping three. I've only got 2 starting wingers in the team right now. Tariq George,
we've got 3 wingers, and one of those is an 18-year-old, bro.
Yes, one of those understudy. That's what I've got to look at right now, bro. 3 of them have been playing in the flipping. One of them played the Nation League semi-final and final.
Neto just did 120 minutes, bro.
Yeah, so that's what I have to look at right now, bro.
Bro, it's fucked. It's a mess, and I'll be honest. I just want to quickly touch on the Manyan thing because, bro, I have to just reiterate what I put in the group chat earlier. Like, I didn't realize this until I saw the Yunus Musa thing. Bro, how are we the only team that can't negotiate with Milan? Like, bro, they're agreeing with everything, bro. There's garage sale settings there, bro. They're selling everyone. They agreed to deal with Al Hilal, and then Hernandez turned them down. They agreed to deal within days for Hernandez with Atletico Madrid. They agreed to deal in days for Reinders. They agreed to deal in days with Yunus Musa. Bro, with Napoli. Bro, how are we the only team? Literally, the only fucking team that can't negotiate.
Because imagine you pull up to the Zoom call, right, for a serious discussion, and you see these 2 clowns, man. I'm not taking them seriously either.
Bro, with the only team.
Bro, are you taking these faces seriously? No, bro, they're clowns, man. I can't even imagine what they must speak like, bro. I'm telling you right now. they're not respected. They're seen as clowns. They're seen as people who could be taken advantage of because they're not respected. So this is what happens. These are the type of things that happens when you're not respected.
And
it's simple.
And the thing that we're doing as well, and the thing that like is going to backfire on us, is you see these moves they're doing. Like they've just made 46 million off Reinders. They're making another 30 million euros. I don't know what it is in pounds. 30 million euros for Menendez. I don't know what the Musa thing is, bro. If they sell like 1 or 2 more players, they don't need to sell Manyan. They've just made all the money they need for this window.
As I said before, Scott, yeah, his value is going to be maintained throughout the summer.
Oh, facts, bro. Of course it is.
I told Zia this, by the way. His summer price of 20 to 25 million is going to remain the same throughout the summer because eventually they'll get other guys out that you need to get out, bro.
And the worst part is, by the way, I have this disgusting feeling that another club's going to be in for Magnan, and then we're gonna pay over the 25 that they were asking for initially.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's what they do. They capitulate.
We'll probably bid like 40. We'll probably bid like 40 for him.
I know that. Listen, the problem is, the club eventually capitulates, bro. They capitulate. I told you this before. I said they always capitulate, bro. If they really want the player, they will capitulate. I've always maintained that. But
bro, we just seen that.
They do so Enzo, they do so Caicedo, and now Scott. Obviously, we've seen them get now, right? Whenever they want a player deeply, they will go to that next level to get them, and they won't give a fuck.
Oh man, that's why as well. By the way, I made this point of like everything you just said there. That's why there's a thought in the back of my mind if they don't even want Manyan like that. Because if they wanted Manyan like that, they'd force it through.
I told you they probably.
This is bro. Whoever I don't know if it was Fab Benjet, whoever it was, whoever put that report out of like this was seen as an opportunity and nothing more. That's all it was. You've got like this was a slam dunk, and you decided no, we don't really need him that bad, and then got rid of the guy that you were like, just what the fuck.
1 second, because today there's news that came out today. I don't know if you know this about James Trafford, by the way.
Yeah, I think I saw. I told you.
Unfortunately, I did see that, bro.
Yes.
I told you.
So because and this is from Michael Graff and Luke Edwards of the Telegraph, and this literally came out today. Newcastle is in talks to sign DK James Trafford, and Burnley want more than 30 million. Chelsea though could enter the bidding as they also admire the keeper, and they have tracked him over the year. There's also some fears internally. Newcastle are being stalled in the hopes that another club, possibly Chelsea, enter the race to sign him. So,
bro, please, Newcastle, I need you to do something. Like, just get this done now.
Asking Newcastle to move serious in the transfer market, bro. Give it up, bro.
I'm RSM. I have to be, bro. I can't. I told you, if he comes to this football club, if that's our goalkeeper signing, if we drop 30 on him, by the way, after refusing to spend 25 million euros, so it's like 20 million pounds on Manyan, bro, I'm done. I'm crashing out hard.
Oh no. So 300 ZX. There's not Chelsea brief. That's actually coming from it's like a top Telegraph football journalist. That's where it's coming from. And like a guy the guy that is with is also from the Telegraph, but he's a Newcastle guy. Yeah,
I'm sure that they've confirmed with multiple sources before they post stuff. It's not just like one guy who's getting briefings from the club.
Exactly.
That's also not the first time we've seen Trafford's name linked with Chelsea.
And also, Chelsea we've also been linked with him, like obviously via our own scouting before. So that's why it's not out. This is why it's not
the 25M price is staying the whole entire summer because somebody will pay it, bro.
Yeah. And the thing is, even if they don't, like, clubs are not stupid, right? Well, some clubs are, but most clubs aren't stupid. Like any club that is looking at maybe getting a goalkeeper, they have to wait like 6 months. And then they get him on a free. They have to wait 6 months. So, like, if I'm, let's say, a Villa, who you look at the situation they're in at the moment, they need to just fix things. Let's say, for example, they get a guy in on loan or they get a young guy in. They obviously missed out on Garcia. In 6 months, they can go and get him, try and get him, or next summer they can try and get him if they make Champions League. Like, and that's just Villa, and even Villa, like, is a club I'm not even thinking highly of, but it's like, I don't know what the situation is at Bayern with Neuer, because I know they've got some other backup that they've been playing, but I'll be honest, like, Manyan's better than whoever that backup is.
Yep.
You telling me that's not an opportunity if it comes up that Bayern are going to do?
I agree.
If Neuer decides that his time is up this... Actually, when's his contract up?
Whilst Scott brings that up, Ahmed, do you reckon Man United stuff was clear like DVD links we had? No, it's not, because we were clearly negotiating with AC Man. It was just that we wanted to get 12.6 million for him, bro. That was the thing. That was the difference, bro. Effectively
By the
speaking.
way, Neuer's contract ends this summer. The summer, just like the end of this next season. The same summer that Maignan ends.
Someone in Zombie, I think he's more just. I can justify buying Chevalier for the price he's gonna get. If I lose money on, because I can at least say Chevalier is one of the top young goalkeepers in the world, top, very talented, good on the ball, can do a number of things for me. Yeah, and I'm getting a guy that's gonna potentially be world class in the next year or two. Right? That's why for me, yeah, I can be objective of certain young players, right? But for me, if I bring in like I think of a guy like James Trafford, is that I don't. He doesn't inspire me in terms of like what he's going to give us to the team, and I think in terms of shot stopping, yeah, that's a problem, right? Because like we already had Sanchez, who's prone to making mistakes. I do think Trafford has that in him as well. Like I feel like I think Trafford. I don't think he's a Sanchez level of problems, but I mean Trafford, in my personal opinion, he's very similar. I would actually argue to like Edison, right? Edison, he kind of got better of time, right? But he's still an average shot stopper. He's not an amazing shot stopper, right? The main thing about him is just his ball playing ability.
It's just fucked, bro. It's absolutely fucked. Like it's bro.
He had definitely had a better season than Chevalier. There's no doubt about that, Seniac. But again, I think also, the reality of Petrovic, we're gonna get to him, is that I don't know why the club is acting like this with Petrovic, bro. Because unless they just saw Petrovic as just a flip the moment they brought him, then it's uncomfortable conversations. I'll be honest.
Can you bring up Koala's comment for me, please? Because this is kind of facts. Like I didn't even rate Kelleher. He went for 18 million. He went for 18 million. And we were linked with him.
No, so but that was the thing where they sold Kelleher for cheap, because then I think a player from Brentford went to Leverkusen for cheap.
Oh yeah, what? They sold their keeper for 10 mil to Leverkusen.
Yeah,
but they bought him for 18 million. So what I'm saying is he was available for 18 million potentially.
No, he wasn't. He was available to Brentford for 18 million, so they could sweeten the deal for words. That's why they did it, bro. Otherwise, he would have been way higher priced in the market to anybody else.
Yeah. Can I just say though, this is another good point that we need to discuss here. Is the Penders point. Now, maybe he will play a game in the Club World Cup, and maybe we'll see something from him. But like the level of which they are putting Penders on, yeah, I pray for the young lad.
I told you he better be the truth. That's what I said. He better be the truth.
Because they are doing because what is going on right now, just in terms of goalkeeper and the stuff we're doing right now, yeah, it's kind of crazy, bro. I'll be honest. He's only played 13 games, bro, this season.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, what are we doing? Yes, I agree, Meza. I agree with that, Meza.
There's no logic to any of it. Like, it doesn't add up, bro. Like, and the thing with the Penders thing, I've said this before, just play him at this point. I don't even rate him like that. He's not ready, like at all. Like, he's not ready. But
that's what I'm saying.
He's not going to be ready again, bro.
The problem is, bro, he's not ready. In my personal opinion, and this is just like, if I'm being like, obviously giving the guy time, he's gonna have peaks and troughs. He's probably looking for another 4 to 5 years. That's done more.
He needs probably a year, because like the thing he needs and the thing we need to see as a club is consistent first team football. He didn't get that last season. That's the main thing. Like, he actually might be really good, but he needs first team football. Is the thing he needs. So he needs minimum 1 year of first team football to see whether he's good enough. But fuck it, just make him our first choice. Like, he can't be worse than Sanchez. So fuck it.
Big up to you, JK. But no, this
also, I just need to address this point 300. The thing that you need to understand is that we're not picking and choosing which briefs to believe in. We're doing something which is called reading in between the lines, right? When you are briefed something for an entire week, right? And then the planes fall through, and you get contradicting briefs within hours of each other within the same day as they try to backpedal, find solutions, find excuses, then you start to infer things, right? You're presented evidence. You don't believe anything outright, but you do what's called Occam's razor. What is the most simple solution, right? Instead of saying, oh, the sporting directors are playing 5D chess, it's simpler to say they wanted to get Mignon. They thought they would get it done. So they released all the positive press briefings, right? Maresca likes the guy. Maresca watches all of this stuff, right? That came out. They failed and they backpedaled. Simplest answer. That's the simplest answer to explain the erratic reporting that we've gotten, right? That contradicts what we got 1 week ago. And then erratic reporting that contradicts what we were told hours ago. What I'm saying is I'm not choosing to believe the first reports like you're saying, right? I'm going for what is the most simple answer. It's called Occam's razor, right? Because you could believe any tinfoil theory that you want, that the world, we're playing 5D chess, that our sporting directors, they know things that we don't, or you could go for the most simple solution. So 300, if you want to be ignorant, right, and you want to live in the delusion, right, that that I'm being emotional, that I'm just choosing, right? Oh, I'm crashing out because of any reason. For me, when I become emotional is when I see a pattern of repeated behaviors that continue to fail from these sporting directors. They keep doing the same things again and again and failing consistently now, window after window, right? They are not even good at releasing press briefings, right? We get told all 4 keepers are great. Petrovic is on the way out within hours. So if you see that and you think that that's normal, and you think that that's normal and that's okay and that's acceptable, go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with the point you made in terms of the history, because like what I like to do is, especially when it comes to stuff like this, is I look at what has happened and try and use that to like work out what's going to happen. And obviously, it's not infallible.
Yeah, one sec.
That's cool, bro. Obviously, it's not infallible, but I look at what has happened, what I've seen with my own 2 eyes, and gone, okay, this happened previously. What's the likely outcome going to happen in the future? So I've seen these guys and this football club, since these owners came in, publicly on multiple occasions be very public with their interest in a player.
Yep.
And either nearly fuck it up or completely fuck it up. Like, we were incredibly public with Osimhen. We fucked that up. For whatever reason, we fucked it up.
Same thing with Elise, bro.
Same with Elise. We were very public about Caicedo. We nearly fucked that up. We were very, very public about Enzo. We nearly fucked that up. Who else were we really public about? We were public about every fucking player in that first summer window. Every single player we were public about. Every single time we are public with a player, and it just embarrasses us. Matisse made this point on his video I watched the other day. Of like, bro, if you do this stuff in silence, at least there's a way you can spin it where it's like you make yourself look in a good light. You can spin it in a way. Bro, when you're as public as we have been, you just embarrass yourself on a world stage on a consistent basis. So if I'm looking at these guys and going, they've done that with Osimhen, Olise, Caicedo, Enzo, multiple other players that I can't even think of right now. They've done it multiple occasions. Why am I to suddenly think that in Windows 6 of year 4 that they've suddenly turned it around?
You're muted, Ahmed.
So fundamentally, I think the question you've got to ask yourself is, as I always say, is the same things are happening. The same situations happen. The same briefing schedule continuously happens again, bro. At some point, bro, we all know where it's coming from. At some point, bro, you know what I mean? The cycle keeps repeating itself. Like it's happened again.
Was it Roberts and Ben Jacobs that literally like quote tweeted each other within the same minute?
It was Nizar Kinsella and Ben Jacobs.
Yeah.
Literally,
it's
bro,
embarrassing, bro.
It's like that meme, bro. It's like, hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, brother, but change a little bit and change the name at the top. It's like nearly identical tweets, just the wording slightly changed.
The best example I always give last season, you can love him or hate him, yeah, was when they gave the Gallagher report and every single journalist released the same Gallagher briefing at the same flipping time, bro. 1 minute apart about Gallagher getting given a contract offer by Chelsea Football Club and him rejecting it twice. And that was Fabrizio, Ornstein, Simon Johnson, Nizar, all of them. And we all know where that came from, bro, at the same time. That's when I personally realized, these guys, are just...
They get told to feed info at the same time, man.
Yep.
And listen, I will say this too, just to say, for everybody to save their mental health, bro, you have to stop believing what Maresca says, bro. He's just going to say whatever he's been told to say. That's it, man. The only time we see his real thoughts, it's who he plays on the pitch. That's it, bro. Because he said, I loved all the summer signings. You know, people come to stadiums to watch Felix play. He never rated that brother, didn't want him, didn't play him. That brother's gone.
He kept talking about how I wish I could play Nkunku and Felix more. brother did not play them when he had the chance. Could have played them.
No, he
play
didn't.
them.
And then, I remember there was a time, Scott, where we complained, "Oh, why is he bringing them on so late?" He was cooking, bro. We did not know what he was. We did not know what he was watching in training.
Yeah, he didn't care like at all, not one iota. And I'll be real, like the Paez thing as well. I see people like comment about, bro, what they've done to him is disgraceful. Like, because the thing is,
They told him last week he's going, bro.
Bro, was it last week, brother?
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like what they've
It is.
actually done.
I know it is because he did an interview, like to like an Ecuadorian like media account.
Wow.
And like in the airport, and they're like, "Oh, so what's the plans for the summer?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm like gonna meet up with Chelsea and start getting integrated, etc. etc." This is disgusting work what they've done to the kid, bro.
The actual plan, I think, is probably the right move for him in his development.
Exactly.
Like, not going to the Club World Cup and going to Strasbourg is the right thing. But what you don't do is lie to the kid.
Exactly.
To an 18-year-old kid. You just lied to him, bro.
That's where I
Like,
disagree.
and
Like,
I'll
if
be
this
real,
was the plan, tell him months ago, bro. Tell him from months that
Right.
this is the
And
plan.
I'll be real. I agree with what I think it was Sean or someone else said, bro. I genuinely think at this point he's probably a flip as well, and that's why another point I was going to make, bro. And this is why I've stopped doing it for like Saar and for Asugo and for that Omega dude. Like people in the chat and Chelsea fans out there, don't get hyped for any of these guys that come in. Literally, don't.
I
get
told
hyped
you
for any
before,
of
but
them.
the thing is, Scott, yeah,
Don't
I can
get
tell you
hyped.
now.
Bro, if they
Eswego
bang, like
is going to be a flop. No, so not flop. So Eswego's going to be a flip. I told
Yes.
you before, Hagar guaranteed flip. I said it already.
Bro,
when I saw
Ahmed.
I told you.
Ahmed, Isugu is a placeholder until Lavia can stay fit. That's what it is. And people need to realize
bro,
that. Like that's the game, bro. Like the Isugu's there because they can't trust Lavia to be fit. But if Lavia was fit, we would have never brought the brother. And I saw somebody, for example, Scott, I saw people in Lewis's thing, bro. They're getting hyped over Quenda. They don't, bro. Give it up, bro. We might never see that brother play for us, man.
Yeah, bro. Like he might be a flip as well. The only thing that makes me think he's not is how much we paid for him, to be honest. But like, I don't know. But like, yeah,
that's
dudes, like Penders, like even these dudes they rate. Like, bro, remember when we kept hearing about Anselmino? Where is that brother now? What did that brother do? Nothing.
I think he played like I think he played like 2 games in the Conference League, maybe.
No, he didn't. I think he was on the bench for 2 games. He didn't even play, or maybe come off the bench for like 2
No, he did. He
minutes or
did play. He did play a couple minutes off the bench, I think.
But bro, none of these dudes like are worth anything, bro. They're all flips. Like if one bangs, they bang. Cool, like that's cool, I guess. But I'm not hyped for any of them because I got hyped for Paez. He ain't gonna be here in like 6 months probably, or it's only a year. I got hyped for not hyped, but I saw good things with Leslie. He's gone. I got hyped for the Slonina thing when he came in. He's literally they literally a year later they signed at Penders and thought fuck Slonina. I got hyped to the Petrovic thing. He's gone. All these players I'm getting hyped for in this squad. I thought they can do something in this squad, bro. It's like they're just nothing.
But kind of I want to make this point, Vic. Vic, what you're saying about you knew this, you said the process would work and the recruitment plan changed. Yes, and that's why I'm still right, bro. Because it's not gonna. The process didn't work, bro. Because they still are so rock steady in the way they do the recruitment plan. That's why, bro. I don't know if you watch me anymore. I don't talk about Osimhen. I don't talk about Rodrigo because they're not real signings that this club is going to do. What? Why do you think I always mention different signings?
Do me a favor, bring a 300s comment a second.
I was about to say if you weren't, bro, I was.
No, the
not
second
that one.
The
most recent, the most recent.
Brother, do you know, bro? You're talking to a guy who daily on streams gets called negative. So when I try and hype players up and be positive, I'm then told, don't hype them up. That's a you problem. But then I'm told I'm being negative when I shit on these players because they're not going to make it at Chelsea because we sell them. Like, make your fucking mind up, please.
Also, by the way, you're saying we're getting hyped for signings. It's like saying that you were promised food, right? And then the food comes, it's not what you ordered and it's cold, and you're like, oh, that sounds like a personal issue. Why were you getting hyped? Because you got promised something. What are we talking about, man? Like we wouldn't care about it. I'm telling you right now, if we never went in for Mignon, it wouldn't be bad. It's the fact that you presented us this as an option, right? You went into negotiations and you bottled it.
Yes.
The thing is 300. It's not. It's bro. 300. It's not a you problem. It's our sporting directors are not good. It's not just we're getting hyped for these signings that never happen. It's the fact that even the signings that we do get across the door, it's never easy. They always make it more difficult than it has to be. They never get it done on time. They never get it done
And
cleanly.
also,
Your analogy, by the way.
before you go, Scott, before you go, Scott, I don't think it's wrong for Scott to be hyped about the club buying players, bro. That's what a fan should be able to do. A fan should be having the right to be excited about us buying players. For example, I'm a big fan of Leslie Igochukwu. I was very happy when he signed him. I was looking forward to seeing his progress because the way that the club had been speaking, the way the club had been talking about him was that he's going to be a future backup for us. The guy's going to be, we're going to be teaching him, blend him into the process today and making stuff right. So for me, that's why I always said, when this project happened, I'm looking forward to these young guys that we're signing who are hopefully going to be a part of our future. The problem has become, and I've said this before, is that we're buying so many of these guys. It's becoming too murky right now, bro. Right? It's becoming murky. We don't know who's a flip, who's the one that we're keeping, what is X, what is Y, and what is Z. That is the issue that we have right now, bro. Like the club speaks well about every player. The club keeps buying these young players, so we're expecting on some level some of these players to shine.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. By the way, RSM, the analogy you made, that's not even the whole truth of it, because like what we did with Manyan, yes, it was like, okay, it was like your mum going up to you and going, I'm not going to cook you food tonight, I'm going to take you out to this nice meal. You don't go to the nice meal, but then you get home to eat and she's thrown the fucking food out as well because we sold Petrovic. So you just got nothing now. You don't even have the food at home. Not only did you not go to the nice restaurant, you don't have the food at home either because she threw it out as well. So you're just left with nothing. Like, I don't think we're as pissed as we are with the Manyan thing if Petrovic was guaranteed to be the starter next season. At least I can accept that. But you've thrown him out as well.
The thing is, like, I think you're like 300. You need to realize that you're not cooler or a better person for doing the nonchalant gimmick about everything in life. Like, there legitimately are some people who are like, oh, nothing bothers me. Okay, cool, bro. Then you're just a robot. Like, you're not living life. If things don't upset you, then like I don't know what to tell you. You're not capable of rational thought, because emotions come because you rationalize something and you're like, okay, this makes me upset, so I will express my discontent. Like you could say whatever, like everything that you're okay, cool. So then just do the nonchalant gimmick. Why are you even in this stream? Because you don't care about anything, brother. Nothing in your mind, nothing matters other than the actual 90 minutes that are played every game. So if that's the case, bro, just give it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. This guy's the same type of guy I said yesterday. This is the same type of guy, and him and others. These sporting directors could shit on you and you'd ask for more. You'd say, "Thank you, sir. May I have some more, please?"
I just think I just don't say how you don't care about. Like I'm saying, even take it because people are like, "Oh, you're too focused on the Manyan signing. You're upset." Take away the Manyan signing. I'm upset because again, the repeated patterns that they have done for multiple windows now. This is what I'm upset about. More so than just hyper focusing on the Manyan signing. It's the larger picture.
My issue, and I've said this before, I don't even mind who they sign anymore. I don't really care. As long as, they're effective, I don't really care. That's why, again, you're not going to hear me, talk about certain types of signings because I know that's not the style of club that we are anymore. For me, I just ask the question of, you keep buying some of these young guys. You keep saying these guys are going to be good for us. These guys are our future. These are the guys that we want to build for the team. We barely see them play for us. You then maybe send them to a transfer or on loan, and then the next season they're sold. Right? So can we? The one thing I always say is that can we at least have some separation, between the guys that you believe are the future and the guys that are going to be flips. That's why, you don't hear me talk about Emeka because I know Emeka is going to be a flip already because we get him from Strasbourg, we bought him. We know that then in a year or two we're going to flip that guy for something when a club in Italy buys him. Right? That's all I always say. Mm-hmm. The problem is 300.
I'm thinking about this whole...
Before you just go, bro. Right? Then you can speak. My thing here is that 300, I'm not looking at the journalist's opinion. I'm just looking at the revelation. I'm comparing notes, with what other journalists are saying. I'm not looking at the opinion piece section. I'm looking at the factual statements. If they keep coming with the same factual statements, 300x, that is when you have to start questioning stuff, bro. They keep getting the same information. It's not about them and their opinions. I'm looking at the actual information that they're giving to us. That's all it is for me.
The one thing I was going to say, because I've just realized...
No, but also because 300 added me. I need you to understand something. 300, I'm a grown ass man. I have a 9 to 5 job. I pay taxes. I have shit that is more important than this. You realize this is just like a couple hours of my life that I take out of my life to speak about this. I don't go around to my family. I don't go around to my girlfriend, right? I don't go around to all these different type of people and complain about Chelsea Football Club and let it ruin my day, bro. When the game ends, you guess what I do? I go the rest of my weekend and I enjoy my life with my family. You feel me? And when you ask me what matters more, 90 minutes on the pitch or briefs, if you do not personally care about briefs, that is cool. I applaud you. I need to tell you something straight up to your face. I don't give a fuck. How about that? How about I don't care that you don't care, bro? Because I'm actually going to try to analyze what is going on behind the club. If you don't enjoy that, if you don't care about that, that is fine. If you want to run the nonchalant gimmick, that's cool. That's you. But then don't be mad when other people care about stuff that you don't care about. Like, I don't understand where the disconnect is for you in your mind.
I just wanted to say quickly, I think Hazardinho, this is after the Scott free break, and big up to Lucas. I haven't even said hi, teammate. But I actually think Hazardinho makes a great point, by the way. We don't even know, though, because I thought Petrovic was saying, just like you, I thought that too until the management stuff came through. It's gotten to the point is that we can't even like our own players anymore. And that's
right, bro. This is what I'm talking about. I can't get hyped. Like, say, for example, this Gittins thing. Even if I like Gittins as a player, I can't get hyped because in a year's time he could be sold. Because I'm thinking about this, the Gittins thing, right? You might understand that with the Gittins signing, if we sign him, there's two things actually with this Gittins signing. And Lucas, I know you made this point earlier in the chat. Number one, we are relying on spending 60 million euros on Gittins because the backup option is Garnacho. We have to buy Gittins because the backup option is Garnacho. So we have to spend the 60 million. If we spend the 60 million, by the way, that will be 60 million, whether that's euros or pounds, spent on 4 wingers. We've spent 60 million 4 times on 4 separate wingers, and none of them are a starter at this football club. Not one are a guaranteed starter.
Damn.
One of them is banned from football. In fact.
Yeah, we don't even know if he's coming back.
One of them is bro. He's not coming back, bro. It doesn't matter. He's not coming back to football,
we
bro.
We spent 60 million on him. We spent 60 million on Neto. We spent 60 million on Quenda. He actually might be good, but who knows? And we spent 60 million now on Gittins.
Bro, the thing is, apparently, the only guarantee that we have is Santos, bro. He got given the green light.
We spent 300 million on wingers, and we don't have a starter, a guaranteed starter. How can you spend 300 million on one position and not have one guaranteed starter?
Nope. As I told you, man, these sporting directors, bro, they're
big
clueless.
up Lucas, man. How are you feeling, bro? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a continuation of yesterday, I guess. I was on your stream, and then I went to our sim stream, as everyone knows. But at the end of the day, I'm not surprised, bro. Like, I've been watching football for a long time. That's why I don't really get emotionally attached to footballers. And when I make an opinion on a player, Ahmed, people think I'm cruel. But again, I look at these players as you produce or you can leave. And I think the club is kind of doing the same thing. Like, you produce or you can leave. None of these players, I don't think, should get emotionally attached to them, honestly, because they can get sold at any moment. And I actually understand that. I don't really care about that. The issue I have is there's no balance in the squad. So you're going to have potentially 10 players leaving and then 10 players coming in every season, right? So the squad has no stability at all. Like, I don't care if players leave, but if you do this every season, there's like literally no stability in the squad, you know? And again, I judge a player on footballing ability. I don't really care, you know, where they play, who they are, where they play from and stuff like that. Like, for me, it's at the end of the day, just produce or you can fuck off, right? And for these SDs, it's what I've always expected, you know? I told people, like, this was going to happen. Like, the entire week, I was like, listen, these guys are going to fuck up this deal, bro. They're going to fuck up this deal. And they pretty much did what I expected, you know. I'm not too surprised by it, but at the end of the day, that's what we've become, you know, as a club. Again, it's not really the Maignan thing. It's a you know, several different things that kind of collapsed over the last season or so, you know. Maignan, the Victor Osimhen, the Olise deal twice. You know, Just think about it this way: like those 3 transfers alone, Ahmed, we could probably win the league with just those 3 transfers alone, right? Because we would have the striker, we would have, you know, the right winger. You know, maybe we have Neto at the left wing. I don't know who the other option would be if we had bought Olise, and then we'd have a top goalkeeper, right, to to bring stability to the back line.
Exactly.
So just those 3 transfers alone, I think what fans need to understand is we're not like just getting mad for just being mad. It's just we're so close to being great, and we have just a couple additions to add to the squad, and we're not doing it. We're doing what Arsenal
Lucas, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is for me? And I mentioned this in the group chat the other day. The reason why this window is pissing me off more than anything, and obviously it's not over. We've only had the first part of it, because this window I kept being told was going to be different. If we got Champions League, it would be different. Nothing is different. Nothing has changed. We're in the Champions League. We have the most money to spend, apparently, of any Premier League club in terms of PSR. We're the best club in terms of PSR, in terms of how well off we were, how much we can spend before we're in trouble. We're the best. But we spent 30 million. Plus whatever the fuck we spent on Saul.
We always, but my thing is though, and
so the excuses of the excuses of we don't have money. Oh, we can't sign Champions League players. We're not in the Champions League. Oh, but who's available? This, that, and the other. Fuck off. Fuck all those excuses. Fuck the wage budget excuse as well. Like, fuck all of that. There's no excuses. You can't make excuses anymore. There's no excuses.
I mean, it's kind of like the Sesko thing, right, with Arsenal, where they're so close to being a great side, right? They need a striker. They maybe need a left winger, right? And they're going for guys that are not going to elevate their squad.
Lucas, you've heard me say, man. You see, I know RSM and Scott, yeah, and if Marshall was here, Marshall would also back me, yeah. You know what I told them 2 months ago? Yeah, our summer signings. Oh no, I told them our summer signings this summer is gonna be Delap, Gittins, and I think there was one more guy that I mentioned. I think it was Gahi.
Was it Leao?
I think it was Gahi. Yeah, it was Gahi, Delap, and
Actually,
Gittins.
yeah, I think.
And then you said, "Don't be surprised." You said if we get Leao at the end.
Yeah, or something like that, right?
I was gonna say, I think you and me. I think the only one I got wrong was Houston. He went to Real Madrid. Outside that, I think I said Delap and Gittins as well.
Right. So that's something I already told. Was it called? Yeah, those guys. For me, I always knew that was the plan. The thing that obviously put a span into the works, because I think people thought now the UCL football have made that changes, but they've always kept the same course. So for me, I've always been of the thought that was never going to change. That's why I don't react too much, by the way, to who we're signing, because I just look at, does it fit whatever they're doing? Yes. My opinion is obviously going to be, I don't really like the guy, maybe, or may not like. I may or may not like the guy, but I know what they're already cooking. So,
but Ahmed, right? You know what's funny, right? They said there was a UCL list and there was a non-UCL list. If this is the UCL list, I don't even want to imagine what the non-UCL list is.
No, Lucas, I already told you though. Like this was always the plan, regardless of UCL, because we got told, and I'm telling you, people have short-term memories, because we got told in winter that we had signed nobody, but they had done important groundwork for summer signings. Yeah. Where's the important groundwork, bro? Nothing got done.
Nothing they say now in the media is going to be believed by fans, because they've burned us way too many times. You know, like nothing that's reported now, I'm going to take at face value. I'm going to just ignore it and then just wait to see what happens. You know, like
RSM, you're talking facts as well, by the way, because you look at the guys we've been interested in so far. The ones we've actually signed or are close to signing are the 2 guys we were interested in January, in Delap and Gittins. Like the Ekatike thing, there was interest, but bro, we've never really like pushed to get this done as soon as possible. This has basically always been we can leave this as late as possible.
Do you know when I thought?
And then the Manyan thing. So like,
which is why
we agreed to Sugo and Sar in February after the window closed for some reason, and then we agreed. Then we did the important groundwork, quote unquote, for Delap and Gittins, who we've signed one of them. And
but this is also though we need to get Kittens, bro, because real talk, you know who else we did quote unquote groundwork for in January, man.
I can't lie to you. There's still a small part. Like, I don't want him, but there's still a small part in the back of my mind, bro. Some of these fans deserve him. I'll be so honest. Some of this fan base deserve him.
I don't though. That's the thing. I don't care what some of these fans deserve. I don't.
I agree, and that's why ultimately I don't want him. But unfortunately, there are some fans in this fan base that deserve him. That deserve him and deserve the shit he's going to give you, because you back this. You want to dick ride these fucking
nacho cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to dick ride these sporting directors. Cool. Then you deserve Garnacho, bro. You deserve what you're going to get from his fucking brother. You're going to deserve the shit performances and the ego you're going to get for him. You deserve that. But unfortunately, the rest of us don't deserve it. We don't deserve to suffer that. So you get a stay of execution, unfortunately.
Scott, do you know when I started to become worried? I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago when we signed Delap, whenever we signed him, right? Where Ben Jacobs, I think it was Ben Jacobs, that reported that Delap was the number one striker target. When he said that, I was like, all right.
Wait. We gotta get to that, Lucas.
He said that today as well.
How's correct? How's correct?
Lucas, you gotta get to that. Fans like Ahmed.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
I have never listen.
Fans like Ahmed who are celebrating Reece James's hamstrings being injured. Nah, I hear it, bro. That's facts.
Wait. That's not true. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's a dangerous game to play.
We have evidence, brother. We have evidence.
That's a dangerous game to play.
Wink, not true. Not true. You know what I mean? Now, everyone in town knows I like to make jokes in it, but I was making a joke about thinking in the chat. But on a serious note, I've always said I don't want Garnacho to the club, but I understand why they would go for him. The problem with the club, the problem with Chelsea, you need to understand, I don't want a lot of these guys. If it was down to me, Lucas knows there's a lot of other guys that I'll be looking at right now that I will bring to this club on a personal level, right? Even in terms of the younger time they try to scout. Like, if you look at Garnacho and what he does, he suits a Morosky system in the sense that he's very direct, he drives at his opponent, he's very fast. His end product though is doo-doo for Cocoa Pops.
He can't dribble, he can't cross the ball, he can barely finish.
The issue is his best moments, once again, his best moments come when United are in transition. He doesn't help break down a low block, so he's useless for us, bro.
Useless, bro.
Because if we want to do the transition game, we already have Neto. That's his whole game. He's still good at that to this day.
But can I be honest? But let's be honest, Jacob. The reason why I prop Madueke is because they're not bringing anyone better than Madueke to the club, bro. What do you want me to do, bro? They're not bringing anyone better than Madueke in the club. You can hate me for all you want, but the reason why I have to prop up Madueke is because he's the only guy that tries to do stuff for us, and the only one that's giving us decent numbers for the club. And they're not bringing anyone better than him. Gittins is not better than Madueke currently. He's probably, if everything goes well, in maybe a year or two, he's better than him, or he's going to clear of him, skyrockets clear of him. But that's the problem.
But again, back to the lab thing, right? When I read that report...
Wait. Oh, Lucas, we got to get to that one. Chill.
Oh, you're actually going to move on to that? Okay.
Yes, we got to get to that one. Okay. No, but like, don't prop anyone, bro. Just say our wingers are to Dross. No, because the problem is, bro, if I start saying that, then what? I've just lost faith in the whole squad. We can't keep doing that, bro. We can't keep doing that. Like, for me, I'm not saying Madueke is the best player in the world. I want better than Madueke. I've advocated for better than Madueke. But I also realize that I have to prop him up because anyone they're bringing in right now, I always say, is he better than Madueke? If the answer is no, then we shouldn't be targeting him, should we? I don't think Jackson's a star. I've always said move on from Jackson this season. I was happy with Jackson last season, but then this season he's extremely regressed. That's why I said we should move on and get TK instead of him. Like again, I don't really see the point that people are trying to target. That
the problem I have also is like they think that growth is linear. They think that these players are going to grow together, like FIFA, right? 22, 23, they're gonna have 84 potential. The next season, they're going to have 87. And it's like, that's not how football works, bro. You saw how this season was Palmer. He regressed a little bit, right? He was still great, but he there was a large parts of the season where he regressed, right? Nico Jackson regressed, right? There were players that improved, like Enzo, Kukurea, Caicedo, whatever, right? But you can't tell what's going to happen with footballers, right? Some players will get better. Some players will get worse,
Sorry, guys. Let me just fix this real quick. Yeah, but let's actually get to Jacobs' Ben report. The thing with Jacobs' Ben is that he's been on point. Ben Jacobs. Sorry,
Jacobs, Ben. I hear it, man. My man's doing the edge. What is it called, bro? The Chicago style. I hear it, APA. My man said Jacobs, Ben.
Yeah, but like essentially, like Ben Jacobs seems to be spot on about the club and the way they do stuff. So that's why I'm using him today. I don't think Chelsea will buy two wingers this summer as they have Quenda coming and they view him as a left winger. So again, that means whoever Gittins is going to be our only left winger is coming this summer.
No, there's also confirmed to me though that Estevao is definitely being looked at as a winger, bro. There's no way they're doing through wingers for the whole season.
I wanted to add is that before we talk about the top bit, then they'll decide if they need another striker or someone more in Kinku mode, where the interest in a Morgan Rogers comes in. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, because they're clearly saying Quenda obviously is going to be our Quenda's going to be a winger alongside Bino Gittins, who's the main target. And plus, Nkunku leaving means we're going to bring in another 10, basically, not another, what's it called, winger.
Ahmed, by the way, unironically, if this is true, this might be the smartest thing they've ever done in terms of squad building since they've been here.
Yes, that might be smart, I'll be honest. Yes, it makes sense as well.
But hold up. But you know what too? You know what too though? Like I will say, like I'm not giving them props for this, but this is also lines up with the report.
Props with it, but...
This lines up with the report as well that like the Franco Mastuano kid who just went to Real Madrid, we were monitoring him for a very long time, but we were already in our minds, we were already packed in the 10 department because we had Paez, we had Esteban, we had Palmer, so we were like, there's no need to get another young 10.
The thing about Morgan Rogers, he's a ticking time bomb until the end of June, which is a key thing that I wanted to bring up. Same with Mohamed Kudus, another guy that's a ticking time bomb until the end of June. So this is why, again, I've been mentioned the end of June, because, as I said many times before, that's gonna really, that's when we're really gonna see what the club is well and truly about. Another thing I wanted to obviously mention, which Lucas I know wants to talk about, Chelsea will be assessing in the Club World Cup how Delap and Jackson push each other. Then they'll decide if they need another striker. And there was this big Chelsea do hold an interest in Ekitike, but I think it's Liverpool who are really there. Chelsea was never as advanced as people said. And finally, this is what's it called? Chelsea still assessing the situation, assessing what to do with the striker situation, and this is because Maresca still has big faith in Nicholas Jackson. And finally, a lot of people are confused and think that there is a guarantee that some big expensive number 9 is coming in after Liam Delap, when actually it was Delap who was the priority target, which is also why he's been given the number 9 shirt too. Wow. If another one comes in, you'd think Jackson's future will come into question, who Maresca has big faith in, or they'd be overstocking, which would be dangerous.
That's probably why they're looking at Morgan Rogers, because Morgan Rogers, he can kind of play striker a little bit. He plays on the wing, he plays cam, but he's
or Ekitike on the left as well. I think was it Ben Jacobs as well, but I'm just saying like
Kudus before they'll go for Ekitike, because Kudus can kind of play
probably.
striker. He can play on the left, on the right, cam. I think they want someone with like a lot of versatility to back up the lap. And it goes into what I was thinking like last or 2 weeks ago. I mean, again, this guy said, and I read it and I posted it in the chat, but everyone just ignored it. And I was like, bro, I think the lap is our main striker. And I was, going back and forth with Joey on this. And I told him like, bro, the reason why I think the lap is our main striker is because he's literally saying this is the priority striker in the market that we're looking at. So if you're the top striker priority in the market, you would think that person would be the starter, right? Because that's what was said a couple weeks ago when we bought the lap. So when that was posted, I was like, oh shit, I think the lap is the main striker. So when people were talking about Ekitike, all these other guys, I was like, I don't know, man. I think the lap starts. I think the lap starts.
I think the lap starts too. I said this before.
I hope the lap starts. And again, I said this too, and I'll keep repeating it throughout the entire season as well. If the lap bangs, I'm not giving them credit for it, bro.
Yeah.
Lucas, the report you put in, was that the one that talked about like they want free guys?
It
was the one that said that like he was our main striker priority in the market.
Because I don't know if it's the one I'm thinking of, because the one that made me think that a little bit as well, but I was a bit unsure at the time, was the one where it's like they see Delap and Jackson as battling it out for the striker, and they say Ekitike as a guy who can kind of play all positions. And it's like, well, that ain't your number one then. It's like the Swiss Army knife player is not the number one player in that situation.
No.
Let me see if I can find the article, Scott, and I'll send it to you guys.
Wow. Look at EPL Tough. Delap can start as much as he wants. Jackson's going to bench him within 3 games. Wow. You really think that EPL Tough? Right.
He just needs to bang, right? Like, I agree with Lucas, but just bang. Like, I don't care, man. Just like do well. I just don't care. Like, get me 18 goals, either of you. I'm gonna be honest. Like, either one of you get me 18 to 20 league goals, and that is what it is. If neither of you do that, then like I'll come down
got-
harder on Jackson, pause, than I will Delap because he's been here longer. But ultimately, it's going to be the same conversation with these sporting directors. You've just done a lateral move again.
Yep.
For no reason.
Delap, you're on a 2-year timer, bro. You know how Chelsea works now. Everybody knows you're on a 2-year timer.
Might be 1 year. You never know with this club.
Yeah, it might even be 1 year.
Guys, over 189 of you guys in here. I'm 11 away from 2.9k. We really hope if you guys can get me there. 11 of you to subscribe, please. Much appreciated, as always. And make sure to get the likes up too. But listen, I just think, again, tomorrow, does the Morocco have like a press conference tomorrow, right? Or something like that?
He had some press conference thing today. We just spouted a load of shit, and so who cares?
Yeah, the rings, I don't really.
Like, I'm gonna be so honest. Get me to Monday. Get me to the game. Let me see a Bobasi score a hat trick or Buanga. Let me and just let's run it, bro. Like I just don't care, bro. Get me to the.
I think Kuku's gonna play the 10, on Monday.
Hopefully he does. Bro, I don't care. Get me to that game so I can at least watch that and see how this team and Delap, if he plays and all these guys perform.
There's gonna be Isugu Lavia midfield pivot.
Can't wait. But yeah, let me run that. Get to the start of the transfer window so we can run this all back. Like, I don't care what this manager says. I don't care what the fucking briefs are. Like, I just don't care, bro.
Morning, Zombie. I no longer recognize my club. Scott, he wasn't chatting shit. Pay attention to his wording.
Brother said the same thing he said in January that he got cooked for, and then changed his mind about, and then changed his mind about again. Like, it's like what RSM said, bro. This guy's a yes man. But I was wrong. I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong. He's fully a yes man. He'll just whatever these owners say, and I don't expect him to cuss the owners out. I'll say that much. But like,
that's what I'm saying. He's just a mouthpiece. You have to look at his actions. That's all he's gonna speak through is his actions. That's it. If he never plays the lab, then he doesn't rate the lab, but he's never gonna play him. Like, it's one of those things. That's it. It's simple.
By the way, the other person I want to cuss out, or the people I want to cuss out because they have not held enough smoke, is the owners. When I say owners, I'm mainly talking about Egbali and Clear Lake, because we can continue to crash on these sporting directors and they deserve it. They're still here because of you, because you refuse to do anything, because in your mind they're doing a good job.
I've always hated the owners. I've been consistent on
that. Bro, Todd Bowley, buy these guys out. Please, I beg, do something.
Well, I don't even trust Todd Bowley, man. I've seen this guy in interviews, man. This guy knows nothing about football.
The issue with Bowley is Bowley wants to win. He just knows nothing about the sport, bro.
But that's the thing. Like, I need someone that needs to know.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Because
bro, have you seen him in interviews, bro?
Because if that was true, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be hearing those quotes that I heard from him after the protest, bro. I'm gonna be very real with you. If that was truly his thoughts and feelings, then I promise you, no.
His thoughts and feelings, what?
Yeah, if that was his true thought about winning, actions speak louder than words, and the words he spoke enough volumes for him. That's what I'm gonna say. Just quickly, I know people want to read about the Moscows. I don't really care about them, but Chelsea chose me because they had the idea I could grow with the team because I did well previously and because I came from the Guardiola School of Football. That's what he basically said. That's it, man. I don't want to lecture anyone. Having said that, the Champions League final has photographed the dominance of a young team capable of great technical plays, express it at a hellish pace, energy, running, impressive offensive talent. Luis Enrique has built a spectacular PSG in a small way. Chelsea, I am trying to do the same.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what else to really say to that, guys. Like,
big up.
Awesome, bro. I told you, you just have to stop caring about what Mariska says, bro. You just have to focus on what he does on the pitch. It's that simple. He makes absolutely zero decisions up top. He provides zero input onto who they're getting. So I don't care what he has to say, man.
Yes.
Just put the fries on the bag and give me the 3 points every week. That's it, bro.
Basically.
Why do you think they don't want for Enrique or Nagelsmann? They wanted a yes man. Yeah, but also Nagelsmann was also Enrique can be a yes man too. So I don't know what you're trying to play. It's just that he just gets better players because Luis Campos is an elite director of sport. Also,
PSG can afford to buy a ton of duds every season, bro, because they know they're gonna walk the league.
Yes.
It's not simple, man.
You have my full support, G. Even though you'll probably get sacked before these bums. I mean, this season it's gonna be. I don't think you'll get sacked this season as well. By the way, I don't know. People want to see.
Because you know what it is though. I think Maresca And these players have proven to me though that like we're probably going to be able to get top 4 with these level of players.
Oh, I think we will as
So-
well. Like, despite everything we're saying, when we get to predictions, if you had to ask me my predictions now, I'm saying 4th.
I think
can
we're
still
getting 4th again.
fourth.
Yeah, like I think we're getting
But
4th
that's not
again, bro. Like,
inspiring, bro. I'm not trying to do this Arsenal.
that's what I'm
thing.
saying.
Yeah, we're Arsenal 2.0 now. That's what we are now.
That's what I'm saying. It pisses me off because like, you know, it's like Lucas and everybody said, right? It's like only a couple signings and we could be seriously competing
That's
for
what
major
Arsenal
honors.
is, bro.
But
They're going for Sesko instead of for getting a serious striker. That's
yeah,
exactly what.
because they want to, bro. It's like because they want to keep playing Havertz, just like you know, like
Yeah,
the
man.
Maresca and the owners and the sporting directors want to stick by Jackson, bro.
Do you think they're gonna go out and get Rodrigo left wing? Hell no, they're not gonna get.
No, bro. But Rodrigo wants to stay anyways, bro. That was mad funny. My man posted happy on IG.
They're not even gonna attempt to go for Rodrigo. That's my point. They're gonna get some fucking left winger that like no one knows about, like a prospect or whatever, and then they're gonna, you know, the fan base is gonna eat it up, and we'll be here next year again talking about the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I think I found the article. I think I sent it to computers.
Oh, yeah. Give me a sec then. If he wants to load, there we go. Lovely jubbly. Let me just bring it up for everyone. Bang. I understand this one. Oh, I understand this story he sent me. I understand the size of this club and can see the trajectory is going on with these players, and that coach is going to be an incredible place for me to develop, and I hope to achieve many things.
Sorry, fuck. Yeah, but it's around. Hold on, I'll find it. It's around that area.
All right, fair enough. But
sorry.
Liao will come because of Mendes. Man, that's my theory, but it's yet to be seen if that's gonna happen yet. But right now, man, Liao's lacking a few shooters right now. I'm surprised that he's lacking this many shooters right now. I'll be honest, but maybe because the window hasn't opened yet either.
I'm pretty sure that Milan wants to see who they can sell before they sell him. That's the thing as well, no?
Fair enough. But listen, I think at the end of the day, you really care about players say after. No. EPL stuff. I think he thought that was the actual article, bro.
Yeah, fucked up on that.
But listen, at the end of the day, guys, man, listen, crying it's not going to solve everything, as I said before, man. We know what, you know what I mean? We know what we are. That's what I want to say. So we know the way we know how they play the game. We know how the game is played. And, you know, in the words of the British nation, the game is the game, bro.
And listen, we have to, I think, you know, based off the back of this, right? Like the players who do perform on our team, bro, let's back them, bro. Because if this club ever achieves anything, it'll be off of their hard work, not because of the sporting directors, bro. Because the sporting directors and the owners are doing them zero favors, bro. Zero favors.
Facts.
You know what we are, but when goes Arsenal, we know what we are. Jeez Louise. We have to wonder them, man.
Do anything next season, the same guys, bro. Like it's legit the same
like
guys.
I'm saying, if we do anything next season, it'll be because Palmer stepped up his levels again. Caicedo, you know, Cucurella maintain the same levels. Reece James, Enzo, all these like the regular suspects. If we do anything, it'll be because of them, because they're stepping up, they're doing what they need to do. And then you know the owners and sporting directors are going to continue to make these players suffer under Sanchez. You know, suffer having wingers who have no G&A.
Yeah, man. But if he leaves, man, you know what I mean? We're not losing that much. I'll be honest, man. If Enzo Fernandez leaves this club, man. I mean,
you say that. Just wait until they replace him with like some random no name from fucking Bolivia or something.
Yep.
Yeah, we're linked to that Jesse Rodriguez guy.
Pure tough. He faces them on a week in, week out basis in training. If he couldn't do heroics against them, then you know I think I would be a bit disappointed.
Bro, I'm telling you, Jackson knew Chalobah was gonna. I mean, by my Jehovah's Witness was gonna be able to let him walk to the byline to get that cross. The reason why Jackson ran, because he knew Jehovah's Witness was not gonna try to box him out for that. I'm telling you, bro.
But like, they play against each other on a week in, week out basis. That's like me saying, "Oh, Ahmed, you know, how come you had a great performance against your brother on FIFA?" Because I played this guy ever since I was a kid. I know how he plays his game. It's not that hard. Once you know people's tactics, bro, and you've been with them on a week in, week out basis, you have breakfast with them, you have lunch with them, you have dinner with them, you play with them. You know how they play. You know their defensive weaknesses and strengths. This is why, man. You know, listen, come on, man. I know you're better than that. I know you're better than that, EPL type, because I know you're more logical than that. So, Ahmed, you expect Darwin to move like R9 against VVD and Konate. On some level, he has to be better than them. He should be getting the better of them. I don't know about you. You should be getting the better of them. Oh, me. But listen, I'm gonna head out. You know what I mean? I've got to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Get some beauty sleep, everything like that, as they say. I've been your host, the most of British Nation, RSM. Obviously, his name's in the comment already. Make sure to subscribe to him. All of the usual lovely stuff. Make sure to subscribe to him. I'm 10 away from 2.9k. You know, the magic 2.9k. If anything big happens, of course, I'll be here tomorrow. If not, mate, you know, we're gonna be on the main event tomorrow. The main event tomorrow, 10 p.m. or 10:15, because usually it was now at 10:15 p.m. Hajili FC, 10:15 p.m. The crashing of Marshall, that's what I'm gonna call it. The crashing of Marshall DVDX. You gotta stay tuned for that, man. You gotta stay tuned for that, man. Up the Chels. Ahmed got to collect his brown envelopes. They don't even pay me that much, HA, man. They don't even pay me that much, bro. You know what I mean? Only 5k per brown envelope. You know what I mean? So it's what it is, man. But listen, we're gonna take you to Flawless. Enjoy him and the man them over there. Love and peace. Moravska out, Tuchel out, Di Matteo out, RSM's earlobes out.